another edition of WWE Talk. And yeah, well, it's the road to WrestleMania, road to Stand and Deliver, and lots of things are going on in the wrestling world. The Vince talk is always interesting. They said he sold off more stock this week. He's trying to get his way out of the business totally, and even on Raw, CM Punk made a reference to him, which was kind of odd, considering that nobody wants to talk about him right now. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on in wrestling. Raw was great. SmackDown was great. They're really turning on the heat for WrestleMania, and I thought it was excellent. I thought this weekend wrestling was excellent. What did you think, Cheese?
Yeah, bro. I thought when I was watching Monday Night Raw, like as the beginning was starting, and Cody came out, and then The Rock came out and didn't say anything and whispered in his ear, then left. I thought, like, man, this is stupid. Like, this is horrible. Like, but then at the end, when The Rock beat the hell out of him, like it was really, it's neat how they, uh, how we still mark out to like the stuff that they do.
I
So
thought the
yeah,
angle with Cody and The Rock was reminiscent of a '90s angle because it was straight out of the Attitude Era. Because Rock was screaming all kinds of profanities, and he was beating the hell out of Cody, and he made Cody Blade. It was great. It was a great segment that added heat to the WrestleMania main event. It's
yeah,
something straight out of the '90s. What did you think?
yeah, definitely. I just it really got me, like, even like kind of more more emotionally invested into what's going to happen. But now I don't know. Do you think they can settle it in a tag team match, or do you think like that the fans and that WWE is going to have them square off one on one later down the road, or do you think or do
From
you
what
think
I
that's reserved
heard,
for
what I've
SmackDown?
seen on the social media, because I'm invested a lot in the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, so I'm pretty active in that. And what I've heard is that they're going to put on Cody versus The Rock at SummerSlam.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're gonna have him versus Rock at SummerSlam, and somewhere down the line, Roman's gonna get the belt back, and they're gonna have Rock versus Roman for the belt at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, which we should attend, or the one in Las Vegas, which is the one we're gonna attend. Because we had to miss this one, but we should just save up and go to the
Because
one in Las Vegas because it's local to us.
yeah,
Not
because
to tell anybody where we live, but it's local to us.
Vegas is
So
in 2 years. Yeah,
yeah, I
because
heard
with
next year, or I
Vegas
don't
is
know.
next
They
year?
said Vegas 2 years. I don't know. They said Minneapolis next year, but then they said Vegas in 2026. But if it's next year, we got to go to Vegas, man.
Yeah. It's super cheap to get out there, man, and it's
Yeah, super cheap. Yeah,
right around the corner.
but yeah, it's they're gonna have it at Raiders Stadium, the new stadium they built for the Raiders, and yeah, so it's gonna be great.
You know,
So
what do you what do you think about like LA Knight fighting like at WrestleMania? He's on the card this year, so that's good. But what do you think about him just like kind of not to talk shit about AJ Styles, but like shouldn't don't you think LA Knight should have a more profile match of than more than just fighting AJ Styles?
No, because I think LA Knight is still unproven to a lot of people in the WWE, and this is a tune-up match for him. If he does well in this match against AJ Styles, who is a former world champion, former TNA world champion, so championships in every organization, they want to see how the crowd reacts to LA Knight. And if he could get past AJ Styles and put on a great show, then he's going to move up the card definitely. Like right now, they're gonna have that match between Logan Paul and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I think it's a triple threat. But I don't think that Randy Orton or Kevin Owens are gonna win the title because they don't need it. I think Logan Paul's gonna retain, and then he engages in a what's it called, a feud with LA Knight and LA Knight. wins the U.S. title at SummerSlam. What do you think? Or maybe
Yeah, yeah,
Backlash?
yeah, yeah. That'd be cool to see. Yeah, because I don't think that either um, Kevin Owens or Randy Orton, yeah, we're gonna win it either. It's gonna those
Yeah,
damn triple threat
this
matches
WrestleMania,
never work
this
out.
is, yeah, this WrestleMania is a coming out party for a bunch of new stars. Like, I mean, Montez Ford, he's not even on the card, I think, but they should have like a preliminary match between the Final Testament and Montez Ford's group, and so they could showcase Montez Ford as a breakout star in that, and he moves on to bigger and better things once he dumps the Street Profits and what's his name, Lashley, and so he goes on to become a big star, a single star, and just start pushing him. By
Yeah,
SummerSlam, he should have a singles match. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I think he needs to get away from Marty Jannetty and
yeah, the Marty Jannetty team, and look at Jade Cargill. She's probably gonna have a six-man match with I mean, it's gonna be her, Bianca Belair, and Naomi against Io. I mean, not Io. I mean, the other two Kabuki Warriors and what's her name,
Dakota.
Dakota Kai. So this WrestleMania card's stacked. I mean, it is stacked from top to bottom. We have to get this pay per view. I have to renew my Peacock subscription because I mean I canceled it a few days ago because it was just too expensive. I had the expensive tier, but I'm gonna renew it because I got to see this summer, this WrestleMania, man. We got to read this thing together. This is gonna be great. It's a good WrestleMania.
I know I'm trying to because usually I work evenings during the on the weekend. I start at 2 o'clock. So I'm trying to convince my boss to let me work during the day so I can get out to watch WrestleMania, man. Because I can't. I hate I hate when I work and there's like a premium live event. Then I go to work and then I go, just throughout the night. Later on, I'm scrolling through Yahoo or Facebook, and then bam, there's the spoiler for everything. And I
Yeah.
see, CM Punk makes a stunning return. I'm like, ah, fuck, like I ruined it. So yeah, I got to try and
Just
get the.
get off social media and watch it on your own, man. Don't be that way. I try to not do that either, I mean, when that happens, you
Yeah,
know.
funny
Yeah,
stuff.
so what did you think of Raw this week? I mean, it was solid from top to bottom. It was one of the best Raws I've seen in a while. I was glued to my TV the entire way through. I saw the entire 3 hour Raw. So I mean, there was some not good stuff like you had what's her name, Candice LeRae versus the little pitbull girl. What's her name?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Escapes
What's
me.
her nut? She hangs out with the
With the
mhm,
Affleck, yeah, with the Creed brothers.
yeah,
But that was like
Ivy
the filler
Nile.
match. Then you had Sammy versus Bronson Reed, which was really good. And Bronson Reed went over Sammy, and Gunther was egging Sammy on. So he was basically showing Sammy no respect. And so he loses to Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable's in the back. He's trying to console Sami Zayn. And I mean, yeah, but there was a lot of good stuff. That CM Punk segment was really good. He was just talking crap about everybody, and Drew was there just being a troll, and Seth was there just being a troll, and they really all hate each other. I mean, they're trying to keep their lid on it, but yeah, they should have a triple threat for the world title somewhere down the line with those three. That's going to make some money.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was, yeah, yeah. It was. I enjoyed it. It was good shit.
Yeah. What do you think of SmackDown? I thought SmackDown was even better. I mean, I saw it the whole way through. I mean, you had just so many things going on SmackDown. I mean, Pretty Deadly got a win over Randy Orton and
I think,
Kevin
I,
Owens, which is surprising. Logan Paul did help them, but they got
yeah,
a
yeah.
win over them, a pin win. And
I
then
think
you
I
had
think Pretty Deadly
the
are
name.
extremely entertaining. I think they're super funny.
Yeah, they're
Like
super funny. They're still not that over, but they're super funny.
I
Oh, and did you see the 5-on-5 between the LWO and the Legado del Fantasma? That was
no,
pretty good. They they were the entire group was against each other, and so man, they got into it. It was pretty funny. I mean, you notice how usually Latino wrestlers aren't over unless they're really popular, but they're getting over. A lot of
Yeah.
Latino wrestlers are getting over. Like, did you see the reaction on Andrade on Monday Night Raw? Andrade, he fought Giovanni Vinci. He was over huge. That guy, he can be a U.S. or Intercontinental champion with the crowd reaction he gets.
Now, do you think he has to get better, like on the like better interview skills, better on the mic, or do you think they just got to bring Charlotte out and have her hang out with him?
I think he's got to get better on the mic. I think they know these he's always going to have limitations because of his Spanish, his English skills. But he could use a mouthpiece, maybe one that he could, someone talks for him in English at first, then he says something a little bit, and then he just does that. It's like what they're doing with the Japanese wrestlers. They're having them, they're doing the subtitles with them because I mean, there's no way the Japanese wrestlers are going to get over that way either, you know. But at
Yeah,
least the Spanish wrestlers are trying to speak a little bit of English, and they're doing pretty well. Like Santos Escobar, he has a slight accent, but he's getting a
yeah, yeah,
lot of heel heat. A lot of heel heat. The guy, people hate his guts. So I mean,
yeah.
he gets a lot of bad heat.
Now is Gunther is English is not his first language, yeah?
No, he's from Austria. German is his French is his first language. Austria is the word in German for Austria is Osterreich, what means Eastern Reich. Basically, it's the eastern part of the Germanic people. So he's basically the same as a German, but just from a different country. Just like all Spanish people are the same. So
Yeah,
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 but English is in his first language, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And
Because
what's fun, yeah, go on.
he saw it on the mic, and it's kind of interesting. Uh, like when you think about like the guys, different nationalities of wrestlers, whether it be Hispanic or Asian, or European, they dream about coming over to WWE and being like a world champion, a superstar. But a huge part of that, for sometimes you can get over and be a superstar without speaking, um, you know, uh, English, but it really like helps. And it's interesting, like Gunther was one of the guys who seems to have put as much work into learning the language, to be able to cut promos as he has in in the same amount of like ring work he put in, and some of the other guys, really good in the ring, but they just can't um, connect as easy with the audience because they don't speak the language.
Well, Gunther is a special guy all around. I mean, if you've seen Gunther, or if you followed his career, if you've seen old interviews of his, the guy used to weigh as much as I do right now. The guy used to weigh 300 pounds. It was dedication that got him to where he was today because he used to weigh 300 pounds, and he loves junk food. He loves to eat the stuff I currently eat. And then he's like, "Well, I'm going to just get in better shape, so they'll push me harder." So he got in shape, and now look where he is today. He put in the work for the English skills. He put in the work for the wrestling. He put in the work with his body, the heel heat. Dude, the guy, he's just amazing. And so he's going to be one of these top superstars. That's going to be probably one of the top superstar for next 5 or 6 years. So
Yeah,
and he's not even 30 yet. I think he's 27 or 28. So I mean, he's got his whole career ahead of him. And most WWE superstars become world champion around 34 or 35. But he'll probably be the champion within 2 years or 1 year. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Before 30.
yeah, so
Who do you think is going to induct Paul Heyman into the WWE Hall of Fame?
oh man, I don't know. My
Do-
guess is they can't get Tommy Dreamer. They can't get Brock Lesnar. They got to get somebody who has a long history with him. I would say I don't know, man. I don't know who's close to you. So me, you know what? I would say I'm only going to throw out two names that I like, but there's only one that I think should induct him. There's Roman Reigns, who you know it's a short association, but then I'm thinking CM Punk because he's a WWE wrestler besides Brock Lesnar who has been most associated with Paul Heyman in his career. So I mean, I think CM Punk would be a great mouthpiece and would have great things to say about Paul Heyman at the Hall of Fame. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I was thinking more of like, old ECW guys. Like bring back, Rob Van Dam or Sabu? Zabu?
Yeah, Sabu.
Um, like one of those, the Sandman, like some of those guys. But I guess, I don't know really how close Heyman was to any of those guys other than say they worked in his promotion.
He was close to them, but a lot of them are pissed off at him because when ECW folded, he didn't pay them their severance pay, and so like Tommy Dreamer, he's really pissed off at Heyman. So I mean, Tommy Dreamer was the guy who worked for him the most. He's the most dedicated, and Tommy Dreamer has a lot to the axe to grind with Paul Heyman. So I think it's got to be somebody who has been closely associated with him in his WWE career, and I think that's CM Punk. But I don't know who it would be. I mean, none of the ECW guys can seem to do it, and Brock Lesnar is still on the shelf. I mean, they see him come back for WrestleMania. They see he's been cleared of any wrongdoing, and he's coming back to WrestleMania. But I don't think he's going to be the one to induct him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Right. And who else is going in the Hall of Fame? Bull Nakano?
Bull Nakano, who we saw in the '90s, who was just there for a cup of coffee in WWE, although she did win the women's title back then with that incarnation of the women's title. Then you had the U.S. Express, which
Oh,
is an obscure tag team that we used to see back
yeah,
in the
Wyndham and
early '80s.
Rotunda.
Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham,
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt's dad and his uncle. And then you have Thunderbolt Patterson, who was a black wrestler who I don't even remember seeing. He's probably from the '70s, and he's like one of those wrestlers who paved the way for black wrestlers. He had really good mic skills, a lot of charisma, good just good overall look. His mannerisms were things that were picked up by wrestlers like superstar Billy Graham and Dusty Rhodes. So he was a pioneer. Then you have Paul Heyman, of course, and you have Muhammad Ali, who was there for the WrestleMania one main event, but I guess it's going to be posthumously inducted because he's dead, of course. And I think probably his daughter's going to show up because she's friends with a lot of people in the WWE, and she's particularly good friends with Hulk Hogan. So I don't know. It could be Hogan. Maybe I don't know. Maybe his daughter or Hogan who inducts him because I mean he was close to that those kind of people in the WWE. So.
Yeah. Yeah, like on TV, they're saying that this is the biggest tag team match in WrestleMania history. With The Rock and Roman Reigns. Um, Now, do you think that tag team is bigger than Mr. T and Hulk Hogan back in WrestleMania one?
No, I don't think they're bigger than Mr. T and Hulk Hogan WrestleMania one. I think Hulk Hogan was just something special, and I mean, I think Mr. T was one of the biggest stars on TV. I mean, I know. You got to remember that Rock came from wrestling and became a big actor. I think it's a big main event, definitely. But just for being a guy who's from the '80s, I think that the main WrestleMania one main event was bigger, but we just have to see how the match progresses. And I just don't see Seth Rollins as like a Paul Orndorff style wrestler. I mean, I can see that Cody Rhodes is on the level of Roddy Piper in this day and age, but Seth Rollins, man, he I don't know. He puts in a lot of work. He's a good wrestler. He's a good world champion, but I just think that there's something off about him. I mean, even though he comes out and gets a great reaction, he's just kind of boring, and he doesn't get the accolades he probably deserves as a wrestler. But I mean, I just don't think he's ever going to be over like some of the other wrestlers in the. So that's why he does a lot of the jobs for bigger stars. So.
Yeah. So you never think he's going to be like the top echelon. He's always going to be kind of just
No, he's
working.
always going to be like main event. But he's always going to be like, if there's, let's say, there's six main eventers, he's going to be probably number five or six.
Okay.
What do you think about Seth Rollins?
No, I guess Yeah, I've always, thought he was good, but I've never like I don't think he's as good as like they push him to be. Much much like Becky Lynch. Like I just, I think, for whatever reason, the brain trust in WWE, really has uh an idea, how good these guys are, and they think they're better than I think, and they really push him to be, um, you know, really push him to be because, like I think Seth Rollins should have lost, one or two times versus Matt Riddle back when they were feuding, but they just kept pushing Rollins to beat him, beat him, beat him. So by the time Riddle did win, nobody gave a shit because it was already apparent that Rollins was so much better when they had Finn Balor fight him for like 6 months. It's like, man, like Finn could have won once or twice, but no, you just got to keep pushing him, keep pushing Rollins, keep pushing Rollins. When they had
I
him fight,
think it's because of Triple H, because Triple H likes him. That's one of his favorite wrestlers, and so Triple H is not going to give people a push over Seth Rollins. And even though Seth Rollins is just being shoved down our throats, and I mean, Seth Rollins is getting a world title. He's getting matches and wins over all kinds of wrestlers, and I just don't think he's as good as he's made out to be. Like I remember when he was in Ring of Honor, he was perfect. He was just awesome. But then he comes to WWE and he loses a lot of his momentum. They put him in the Shield, and he's the third wheel in the Shield. I mean, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are better than him, and I mean. Then he wins the world title, the first one out of all the Shield to win the world title, and that, how he wanted it here, I mean, around here, and so what's going on. I mean, he is just an average wrestler at best for being a main eventer. He's an average main eventer. He's an above average wrestler. He's probably a phenomenal wrestler. Just an average main eventer though. Not He doesn't move the needle that much for being a main eventer.
yeah, yeah. So what do you look for in the week? So the week coming up to WrestleMania, what do you look for in the shows coming up? What do you expect?
I expect that well, I expect this is one more week before WrestleMania, remember. So remember, look for this on Raw. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Cody gets some offense in on The Rock. And I know that he's probably not going to lay him out, but he's going to get some good offense in. I think that Drew is going to get some revenge on Seth. He's going to maul Seth and show that he's going to win at WrestleMania. I think CM Punk is going to talk some crap, and he's going to probably get some offense in on Drew and Seth. I think that what's her name? What's his name? Gunther is going to maul. He's going to get in and do something with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn's going to get some offense in. I think that on SmackDown, who's on SmackDown? Jade Cargill and her crew are gonna get into it and have a little schmoz with Io Sky. I mean, with Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai, and so it's just gonna build up to WrestleMania. They're gonna do the build ups. It's the final thing. It's just the final thing. Nobody's gonna take like a real pinfall or a real loss. It's gonna be like really, really what's it called? A really definitive loss because they don't want to put anybody on the card. It's going to be like seen as a loser, seen
Yeah.
as not strong. So I think that they're going to do a lot of cluster fudge Phoenix. I mean, I try to say it the South saying a bad word. Cluster fudge finishes, and then they're just going to try and figure out what they can do with the card because the card's going to be amazing and there's going to be a lot of surprises on it. Not only with who comes back and stuff like that, but there's probably going to be heel turns and face turns and all that. You know how WWE works. That's why we're always emotionally invested in it, and that's why we're fans because they always come up with something we like, and it's just entertainment for us, even though it's lowbrow entertainment for guys like us. So
Good, it's
yeah.
good. Good stuff. Now, do you think CM Punk is going to get involved in the match and cost
I
Seth
think he's
Rollins?
getting involved. I think it's going to cause one of them to lose the title. I think it's going to get involved, and Seth is going to lose the title, and Drew's going to win it. And I think Seth is going to be pissed off at CM Punk, and they're going to get at it sooner or later. And by the time SummerSlam rolls around, there's going to be a triple threat match between the three for the world title.
Right. I think so too. I think.
Yeah. Well, bro, it's been 25 minutes. Yeah, I don't want to keep you. Any finishing thoughts?
No, bro, that was really about it. Just what you wanted to see, what you thought about going. What was going to happen going into the week before WrestleMania. So I'll keep my eye out for those things, see if they happen.
Okay, man. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I can't really predict. I don't write the thing, but that's what I want to happen. Anyway, bro. Well, yeah. Have a great day at work, and we'll talk about this next week. When do you want to do our show next week? The week before the WrestleMania. How about we do it on Friday after SmackDown? Or you can't do it that day.
Yeah,
Why don't
because
we do it next Saturday morning? Morning WrestleMania.
if I don't have to work, like if I don't work on in the morning, then we'll do it. If I do
Okay.
have to work, so I'm gonna be off WrestleMania. I don't know. Then maybe we'll do it during the pre-show.
Okay, that's good. Okay, man, cool. Okay, great. Okay, well, great cheese. Well, this has been the Squeeze in the Cheese with our WWE talk. Thanks for the 25 viewers we had right now. We
Yeah,
just had 25 live
25.
viewers. At one time, we had 11 viewers. So thank you, everybody.
Tell
Thanks a
your
lot.
friends.
And spread the word. And we'll hopefully give us a thumbs up for the like. So we'll get the algorithm and we'll be spread around YouTube, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, look at these guys! They're great wrestle talkers." Well,
That's
great,
right.
cheese. I'll see you later
That's
then. Okay.
right. All right, brother. I'll talk to you
Okay.
soon.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Later.